Good morning, everyone. It's your girls from Obscure Orations, me, Tay, her Dana. And today, as we mentioned in our promo, we're going to be talking about murder because there's something about it that just fascinates all of us. And Dana was the one who came up with this episode idea probably about 3 weeks ago. And we've
Yeah.
been waiting about that long to hit you all up with it because it was one once she sent the voicemail and I'm or voice message I'm listening to. I'm like, oh, oh, yeah, I like where this is going. Let's do
Murder most foul.
it.
Number one, I am obsessed with serial killers. Anybody that knows me, like, on a personal level, knows, like, don't even try, but I can tell you the approximate number of children that John Wayne Gacy killed. Um,
Such
how
a
Ted,
weird flex.
how Ted Bundy got all of his victims. Um, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, and I'm really waiting for the Netflix Monsters season 3, and it's
All
gonna
right.
be about Ed Gein. Oh, so excited! But anyways, when Netflix puts out a new show, I'm like on it.
I would say so.
More so if it's something that is like directly right up my alley, aka
Yes.
serial killers or murder most foul true crime.
I like the bunch of different names that you just went through for all of that. Murder most foul, serial killer, true crime.
I watched the O.J. Simpson special thing on Netflix, and I think it was 4 episodes. They're an hour long each, so yeah, my morning
As you're cross stitching
as I'm
murderers.
cross stitching. Yeah, and at the time I was still working on my horror movie
I was just
icons
gonna
cross
say,
stitch.
I thought that's what you were working on still.
So it watching the show. I mean, I fucking knew he did it. I fucking knew he did it when it happened, right?
I think
I didn't.
everybody did.
I didn't need the documentary to just seal the deal for me. But there was something in the documentary that sparked my voice message to Tay. And it was they were talking to uh friends, family, police, lawyers, blah blah blah, all associated with the O.J. Simpson investigation trial. One of O.J.'s best friends testified against him. And it was seriously, it was like Thor whacked me on the head with his hammer. And I went, could you imagine? So then I sent Taylor the voice message. I'm like, listen, we should. And at first it was going to be an ethical question, and I'm like, and then Tay was like, there's no way we can answer that in 20 minutes.
Oh God, no. I
So
mean, just for a point of reference, we're already just about 5 minutes in, and we haven't even said the actual topic yet. So clearly, 20 minutes wouldn't have been enough.
so my message to Tay was, could you imagine testifying against your friend? And I went, like, if I committed murder and you knew about it, would you testify against me? Or, and then that prompted the whole, if you had a friend that did a heinous crime and you knew about it, but nobody else suspected them or didn't know that they did it, would you turn them in? The topic of today's discussion.
Da da da. Doo doo. Like Law and Order.
So I think out loud. I'm an out loud thinker. My husband always asks me who the fuck I'm talking to because I'm usually the only one out there in the living room by myself, and I'll be like, the TV, dear. But like at dinner time, my family is a sit down at the table and eat dinner together sort of group, unless it's pizza, and then we just all kind of go our separate ways. So I was excited. Don't take that the wrong way. I was excited about the O.J. Simpson documentary that I was watching, and I'm like, literally, the sparkle in my eye. My husband said it was kind of creepy, but I was like, could you imagine testifying against Fred? I'm like, you should have seen the crime photos. and my mom just like jumped into the convo, and she's like, absolutely, I'd fucking turn him in. And that got me thinking. So then I asked the friend question: if a friend committed a heinous crime, would you turn them in? And then my path diverged. Me and Robert Frost went down that path not chosen. And I'm like, I looked at my mom, I go, and what if it was your son?
Thank you.
And she was like, gotcha. So
gotcha, bitch.
That's what we're going to talk about. Friend versus family. Do you turn them in or not? And why? So, take it away, Tay.
My immediate thought is to add to a layer of that, just to make it even more difficult of, okay, like I will still have my answers for friend versus family. But what happens if you're in a situation where, say, it's your sister or your brother, and they murder your best friend who is like a brother or sister to you? Do you turn on your brother because they murdered your best friend? Do you say nothing? Do you still stay in contact with your brother? Like, now I have more questions. So now that I've added an extra layer, I will answer. Yeah. And we're like, oh.
This may be a two-parter.
Yeah. After the 3-hour mark, we're sorry, we don't know yet. So sticking with the original, how it is with O.J. Simpson's case, with the best friend ratting on the best friend, it'd be so hard because, like, I don't think I would ever rat on my best friend. Like, I guess it would probably depend. Like, was it someone who was actually innocent and they didn't have it coming? Clap, clap for anyone who watched the musical Chicago and knows that there's that part in the song. So I'll use like Dexter as the example for murder standards, where he had a code that he lived by, and he only murdered other murderers, rapists,
Harry's
general.
code.
I was going to say, yeah. Excuse me. So he followed the rules and only hunted down those who deserved it. So to me, like, if my best friend were doing that, like if our best friends with Dexter, I'd be like, where are we hiding the bodies? Let's go. Let's get this out to that there river. You said there's a little floaty area that makes the bodies go bye-bye. Let's do it. And I'd be helping without a hesitation. But then if you changed it and it turned out that one of your best friends actually murdered someone innocent, like it was one of the bad murderers, O.J. Simpson, I think I probably would have ratted on him too. Just from the, like, I don't know all the details about O.J. Simpson, just because I want to say that happened in the early onset of my lifetime.
Baby.
Yep. Our wee baby.
Again, I watched the trial.
Yeah, I was just say, I think I was born for it, but I don't think I was watching any
Like
trials.
my obsession with true crime didn't start last year, okay?
No, it's been a long-seated thing. Like, I remember watching, like, Law and Order and Criminal Minds and that kind of stuff once I started getting older, but that wasn't for ages. So, I know I didn't ever see the actual trial. I know my mom did. I remember that. But to me, I think based on what the little amount that I do know, I probably would have ratted on him too and been like, "Yo, he went in there. He
Yeah.
he murdered his wife. She was a nice lady."
X.
Sorry, that's right. Ex-wife. I always forget that part because it never makes sense in my mind that she was his ex-wife and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you now."
And over something so stupid as he misread a situation and it made him angry, and his reaction was.
Mhm.
And basically that was, she had gone out for dinner with her family, including her mom, at one of their favorite restaurants, and it was the restaurant that Ron Goldman worked at.
Mhm.
Her mom, Nicole's mom, had called and said, "I've lost my sunglasses. Are they at your house?" And Nicole said, "No, I'll call the restaurant and see if they're there." She called the restaurant. They found the sunglasses. And this is where sometimes being a good Samaritan will kick you and bite you right in the fucking ass. Ron Goldman said to the manager, "I walked by her house on my way home. I'll take them to her."
See, this is
So
why you shouldn't do good things for people.
as he was walking up the way to ding dong the doorbell, OJ snapped, attacked Ron, slit his throat, shoved him in the bushes. At the time, Nicole had seen him coming, Ron, that is. She answered the door, and OJ killed her in the doorway.
Just Jesus.
So, yeah. And it was because he thought she was sleeping with that white guy.
Which, again, I don't understand because at that point in time, ex-wife had.
But it's obsession, right? He was
Yes.
obsessed with her. So,
And I think that's where the danger comes in, where it's, as much as you're going to be supportive of your friend, there does tend to come a cutoff point where you're like, "Listen, bud, you became." It would be like you suddenly showing up at Pedro Pascal's house, being like, "But I love you, you're mine," and being mad at him because he has a life without you. It would be like, "Okay,
but I already am."
So it's one of those things that, like, in that situation, I 100% agree with the best friend, and I would have been like, "Okay, listen, listen, Linda, you made
Got
some
some
bad,
issues.
you made some bad calls. I supported you throughout a lot of bad decisions. This one's pushed the envelope wide open." I'm like, "Oh, honey, baby, boo boo, you can't do that."
Okay, so you said if it was your best friend and they were killing, aka Dexter style,
Mhm.
you would be all like, "We're behind the body, getting my shovel," right?
Or the
But you said,
hacksaw.
if they killed an innocent person, you'd be like, "Whoa, dude, let's take it one step further." It's 3 o'clock in the morning on your front door. You answer it, and your best friend is standing there, a fucking wreck. The tears, the snot, the whole 9 yards. And they say to you, oh my God, I've just run somebody down on the road, and I think I killed them. I didn't stop. I don't know what to do. Help me." What do you do?
Oh, bitch.
told you I have nothing but time to think.
Damn it. Mm. That one becomes more difficult because that's like you have no time to suss out the situation and be like, oh yeah, that was a real bad guy. I'm okay with that. Let's hide the body. Oh, and you've left the scene of the crime. So that's another crime
Person's
on
laying in
top
the
of
ditch.
it. I don't even know what, like, I don't even have any instant reaction other than, like, I'd just be sitting there staring at you and like, let's have tea. We need some tea and some cheesecake because the Golden Girls say that everything can be solved over cheesecake.
Cheesecake and coffee, that's right.
So, like, I feel like we would have to get into
So what happened? Why? What were you doing when you hit said person? Were you playing on your phone? Did you just like not see them? Were they riding a bike? You know,
were they wearing all black? Like, there's so many questions that would go into it.
It's like a spider web, right?
Well, it is because with each different aspect to the web, it's like, okay, like there's things that would change my answer based on like, okay, were they the idiots out walking on the street? Because I see them. I go to work at 5 a.m.
I see
Guess
them
what,
too.
people? It's fucking dark at 5 a.m. And when you're wearing all black, it's really hard to see you. Now, to me, that screams stupidity. And if you get run over and something happens to you, that's on you.
Yeah.
I don't blame the driver because you cannot see when you're all in black and you're not walking on a sidewalk. You don't have anything fluorescent. You have black shoes, black pants, black shirt, black toucan. A black hat is what Americans would.
Balaclava?
Well, that's what we call it. That'd be a ski mask to Americans.
Oh,
so
sorry.
If you have, I was going to say that's why I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't remember. I think it's just a hat for Americans, but like the wool knit hats.
Toque.
Yeah, say up here it's a toque. And you have everything covered where I can't see you, or in this case, my best friend can't see you. I'm going to be like, listen, they had it coming. We're going to take your car. We're going to nicely drive it away from here. We're going to act like nothing happened. I'm going to learn how to change out a bumper. We're going to change out the bumper, replace everything. We're going to fix it, and we're never going to talk about it again.
No. That's not what you do. You take the car and your friend drives it somewhere. You follow them in your car. You then smash the windows or smash a window, pull off the ignition if it's a key twister, mess up the car, and then report it stolen in the morning.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to add the hashtag of hypotheticals.
Yeah, I've never killed anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to make this really clear because while there's going to be points in time throughout all of these episodes where we really kind of outline really good theoretical ways of doing it, they are theory based. They are not experimentally run.
We are not the co-authors of Murder for Dummies.
Yeah. Suddenly we're going to have a whole new following. What do we do now, masters? Then what do we do? Well, theoretically, if you went and you actually did this, it would be fine. Like, probably shouldn't say that. We should add, this is hypothetical, theoretical. But yes, you're right. And preferably you choose a place, again, this is going to sound bad.
If you live where we live, you can find an abandoned factory anywhere.
Oh, God, yeah. But you want to make sure that and I've seen them do it. They used to do it on horses, and I've now seen them do it even with cars and stuff like that. But you put something on the back of your car that messes up the dirt as you drive. So that way it covers your tracks.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't want your car, like if you drive over something that has dust or it has a little bit of mud, then your car tire prints are going to be left behind. Then they're going to go around. They're going to be like, who has these? Who's got them in the recent time? And that's why it's good to have generic tires and not, high class brands and stuff like that. The ones that are
Fuck
everywhere
you,
to be found.
Michelin.
Yeah, screw you, Michelin. We're going with the cheap ones. Everybody got these.
And no, I do not believe there is such thing as a perfect crime.
Oh, God, no.
You cannot get away with murder. Now, my daughter, and I don't know if you watched it, but Sam watched How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, it's such a good show.
And even there, watching that show, you think, wow, they got away with it. But then you see the cracks in the foundation,
mm-hmm.
and they spread. And it's that spider web. You're never going to have, and I'm going to have a lot of people disagree with me. You are never going to have somebody that is 100% loyal to you.
Oh, completely agreed. There's always going to be we're best friends. Our loyalty runs deep. There's a lot of shit. Like, again, I would help her with running over a body and be like, okay, we need to get out of here. We need to do this. However, there's still going to be that breaking point where they're going to pull some sort of thread that's more important than your friendship that they're going to be able to use. Family members. Okay, we'll use her daughter Samantha in this case. Well, if you don't step forward, maybe your daughter was driving that car at some point in time. Have we asked her? Oh, hey, her hair was found in the vehicle. Her fingerprints are on this.
Yeah.
And that suddenly starts coming into one of those times where you're like, and your answer might suddenly change. Not because you want to flip on your friend, but because someone in a different class of love that came from you would suddenly be more important.
Exactly. It's the compromising, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody that could be in a compromising position. For me, regardless of Dexter or innocence, like even if you're doing killings, aka Dexter, or if it's like, oh fuck, man, I ran over a homeless guy under the tunnel, if you come to me, I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying I may never bring it up. And I'm not going to blackmail you. Calm down, folks.
Everyone just went, oh!
I'm just saying that my loyalty to the people within my tiny, tiny circle, and trust me, it's tiny.
I was going to say,
I'm loyal to them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to a fault.
Yes.
But I'm not going to be all like, oh my God, just go in the bathroom and clean yourself up. Hey, 911.
Oh God, no. Like even in those situations, for me, where it's if you did something to an innocent, like if it got to the point where it was you were in court already and they already had all the stuff laid out, like in O.J. Simpson's case, where it's like, right. Okay, it's just another nail in the coffin. At that point in time, like if it came between, we'll use the example of Norm in this case. Sorry, Norm, I'm killing you. Say you snapped. I was going to say you snapped one day, finally, it's happened. And you done it. We tried to cover all of it up, but then it comes out to light. And it's, say I become really close friends with them by that point in time. And it's like, oh, man, but I liked him. It'd be one of those things of going, yeah, she might have mentioned that this happened, and he was actually out feeding the homeless that night. Then he gave his shirt to this other guy because he didn't have one. He said, "Don't worry, I've got shirts at home." Like, basically, if he was like the nicest kind of person, like it was the most innocent kind of situation, I'd be like, "Oh man, now I'm gonna have to tell them the truth because you got caught. We left something behind." But it's basically you
AKA,
have to get caught.
so AKA a pure soul.
Yes.
And
Like,
they are out there.
I would say they are. And my example is going to be like, if if we change the parameters of you running someone over with your car on their bicycle or something, you run over a kid, and it's not one of them asshole kids. It's one of those
It's little
actual
Johnny on his morning paper route.
Yeah, exactly. And he's that good kid who's like, "Don't worry, ma'am, I've got this for you," and runs over and grabs like your garbage out of your front lawn, rakes up your leaves for you. He's
Mows
like
your
the
lawn, shovels the
I was gonna
snow,
say, yeah, it's
the whole
basically
9
Tiny
yards.
Tim come to life. That is the kind of pure soul innocence that I'm talking about, where I'm like, okay, yeah. You look at him, you're like, "Oh, Dana, what have you done?" It's like, oh no.
Notice I'm the one hitting people, and she's the one that's like, oh.
Hey, to be fair, you're the one who said you were driving the car, so what would you do if it were in this case? We'll reverse it and we'll say that I'm the one driving. I'm just like, I'm tired, so we'll add some details to it. I'm driving to your place because I've just gone through a breakup. I'm apparently crying because it broke my little heart. And I don't see that Timmy's out for his morning route of newspaper delivery. And in that little bag of his, he has an added card of saying, "Thank you, Miss Dana. You were one of the best neighbors ever. You pick me up in the rain when I can't get to school," and stuff like that. Like, he has all these nice things to say to you. And bam, I hit him. And it's like the block up from your house. So I come screeching in at an ungodly hour, smacking the crap out of your door. Tears, snot, like you said, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I hit Jimmy." What you doing?
I'm getting you Kleenex to clean up the snot.
I appreciate that, because I would probably make myself.
I'm taking you and I'm sitting you down on the couch, and I'm trying to calm you down. I'm saying, I'm going to put the kettle on. We're going to have a cup of tea. We're going to talk this out. We can talk it out. So the worst thing you're going to get is vehicular manslaughter. And because you don't have a prior record, the courts may go easy on you for time. But in that case, in that instance, when it is that pure soul little 8-year-old Timmy on his BMX bike, and you smack the living life out of him, I'm going to calm you down, and then we're going to rationally talk about what happened, and then we're going to call the police. Not 911, because that's only going to elicit panic. Call the police. There's been an incident. There is a child on the road in the 200 block of Geniac. Please send an ambulance. You need to send the police to this house. Blah, 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 right? I'm not technically turning you in. I am helping you to not admit guilt, but I'm helping you come to the realization that this is what happened. It was an honest to goodness mistake. They happen, people. Mistakes happen. If you can own up to them, the pullback or the blowback is less than if you deny that it happened.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that. So Sam watched it, but you didn't watch How to Get Away with Murder?
Oh no, I
Okay.
I didn't watch it. watch it, but I had knee replacement and I was trapped in the chair, so I watched the episodes that she watched.
I was trapped in the chair. There was no going anywhere.
I wasn't going anywhere.
So that would be one of the things that I'd have to say, like, had they just called the cops in the very beginning when it all happened, it would have gone easier. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is that if you would have just come out with it in the start, it would have been so much better, because it adds layers and different laws you're breaking every time that you go, okay, but we're not going to tell. It's like, okay, well then, say we hit we run over, instead of little Timmy, we'll take him out and say, he's safe, I didn't hit him. But say little Timmy has a drunken mother who beats him every day, and you run her over. Now, in my case, I would happily be like, all right, let's go over there. We're going to clean up the scene. We're going to take the body with us, and we're going to get rid of her. Because we're not even going to care that the drunken bitch is dead.
And then we're going to say that Timmy's mom skipped out.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy came to my house. We came to the police. I can take care of Timmy.
That's right. See, you knew where I was going with this. Now, mind you, in this situation that I just salmon roller. Now, in this situation that we just played out, we have taken it from just accidental vehicular manslaughter to manslaughter, full-on murder at this point, because now we're taking the body.
Premeditated.
I would say it's basically premeditated. It is now tampering with evidence. We're now moving a body, which is also a separate crime in and of itself. I just don't remember the name of the crime. I just remember it being one. We are now disposing of the body, which is also illegal. We are now lying to the police about where little Timmy's mom went.
You going to jail?
We are now also taking Timmy in and lying to Timmy about what happened to his mother. Ah, she left you, Timmy. She didn't love you, but don't worry, we won't beat you.
That crack whore found man and she gone.
It's okay. And then when he gets old enough to start questioning more things and go, but she said she was going to get clean. They all lie about that to me. It's going to be
that, Timmy.
We're going to be on our deathbeds and be sitting going, Timmy, your mom didn't love you. We did. She's a bitch. Don't look in the closet.
So yeah, it is a good question to ask people to see what their responses are, because some people will just be like, fuck yeah, and some people will be like, oh hell no. It's the people in between that I like talking to.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people that have rationalization behind decisions.
Yes.
I fucking love people like that. Like, don't come at me and say, oh, yeah, absolutely, because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Fuck off, You're not. There isn't a human on this earth over the age of 18 that has not committed some sort of crime in their life.
I would say, and it's going to be...
whether it be shoplifting, like, whatever.
Running a red light, running a stop sign, doing rolling stops is technically illegal. You can get tickets for that. You can get fined for that. Illegal parking, stealing a candy bar, like all of these things, trespassing. Yeah. All of us are guilty about that. Every single person.
So that's those holier than thou, I would never do such a thing. People just bother the fuck right out of me, and I don't want to talk to them because they have no rationalization behind their answers. I like rationalization. I like to know the why you feel that way.
Yes.
So, friends, if you answer this question, give us the whys. Give us the whys. We want to hear the whys.
And does it change for you? Like, for us, it changes if it's a pure soul, if it's Timmy, or Timmy's alcoholic, drug-addled, abusing mother. Like, it's going to differ from situation to situation where depending on what the variables are. So one of my favorite ethical questions, because when I went to school for HR, that's what I went to college for, which I know will shock many people because it always does with my friends at work when they're like, you went to school for human resources. I'm like, I did, in fact, and I can be very well behaved when I'm in the HR role. I am a. I was just gonna say that's basically. I can remember when my friends literally looking at me and like, you went to school for HR. Have you heard your mouth? I'm like, yeah, but when I was in HR, it was well behaved. It was a very prim and proper going. Okay, I understand your situation. I understand this. Let's talk about your different options. Let's talk about how you handled it. I can be the professional. I work on a floor. I work in a factory. It's not nearly as bad as other factories. Like you go to the hardcore metal shops and all that, and they're like, "Fuck you, you fucking suck my dick." We're not that bad, but we're still a factory.
And there are some people in HR that have no fucking business being there.
Yeah, I mean that's just the general rule of thumb. That's no matter where you are. That's every single company out there. There's always going to be people who have no rhyme or reason that they should actually be in it, yet they are.
You get that one HR person that's like, oh my, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You have 5 days bereavement. Take all the time you need. Just let us know. Just call us and let us know when you're returning to work. And then you have that person that on the 5th day calls you and says, you coming in to work tomorrow?
Yep. And those are the ones where I'd say are not good at HR. But where is it going originally with this? The thought left, I'm like, fuck.
You were in HR.
There was something. Fuck. The thought has completely left because now I'm just like, we were in HR. We were. The train derailed. There are no survivors. I was going somewhere with the ethical question. So I've had this conversation with a few different friends on the floor, and it was sparked from my ethics class that I had to take in college because we had to take certain classes to get the degree and diploma, all that fun stuff. One of the classes I had to take was ethics,
Mm-hmm.
which I absolutely loved. It's one of my favorite classes. Like I would honestly go back just for fun, just to be in that class. So one of the ones, and it's one of the oldest questions too, is you are on a train track. You're going full steam ahead. You cannot stop. So there's absolutely no way you can stop in time, none whatsoever. And the line splits in front of you. There is a switch off to the right, and you have that little thingy that actually hits the switch for you. So that way you can either go to the right or you can go to left. Now, on the right side of the track are 5 people tied up and left there. They're all full grown adults, but they're all there for whatever reason. Now, there's 5 of them. That's the important part. Now, on the left side is a mother and her child. That's it, just 2. Which way do you go? You have to choose. One side or the other has to get run over, no matter what. But it's in your hands of you have to hit that switch to choose whether you're going for the 5 or for the mother and child.
Mom and child tied up too?
Yes.
You didn't specify.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to go with the assumption that they were tied up. I think that's what we did even back then.
This is going to sound callous. I'm going to flip the switch and run over the 5 adults.
Mm-hmm.
Spare the child because they still have a life ahead of them, a full life ahead of them to live. I'm not saying that old people deserve to die. Not even saying middle-aged people deserve to die because I'd be dead. I'm just saying that if the opportunity arises where you have one person that has lived 60 years, and one person that has only lived 5. I'm going to give the option to live to the one that's only lived 5. 60 has probably done some shit in their time. 5 hasn't done nothing but piss in a diaper. You know what I mean?
So now here's what we had to do in our class. So we're going to change a couple of the variables. Still same numbers. 5 people on one side, 2 people on the other. It's still the mother and the child, and it's still the 5 adults. Now what's going to change is, all of them. Every single one of them. All of them. On the left side, it's your next door neighbor and Timmy.
Fucking Timmy. Always getting himself in shit, man.
I was going to say, fucking Timmy's going to wind up dead every time. And it's his mom, but she's actually cleaned up her act. And you know what? We're just going to say that it's a lesbian pair of mothers. His other mother fucked off out of town. This is his good mom. Now, on the other track is 5 people, and you've gotten to meet them. It's Stephen Hawking. It's Stephen King. It's I don't even know any names of there's Stephen Hawking is the smartest man that I can think of. A transplant specialist, best in his field, and a neuroscientist. They're not super old. They're say in their 30s, but they're having groundbreaking breakthroughs in their fields. He's figuring out how to actually make artificial hearts so that people can actually live without having real hearts. The neuroscientist is figuring out how to cure brain cancer. Stephen King is writing another story for you. So what do?
You whore.
Yeah, fuck you. That's what you get.
Because you know what? I would have still ran over the scientists until you threw Stephen King in there.
I knew I had to. I had to add something where I'm like, okay, these are things that are helping society, but I'm going to add in one that makes it more difficult for you. Your literary life mate seems like a good choice.
My literary life mate.
He in danger, boy. He in danger. Who you gonna run over now, bitch?
and it's so funny that you talk about Stephen King being the possible one that I would run over, because when Darren was here and we were talking about something, and he was like, he goes, I don't even want to come around when Stephen King dies. He goes, because I know how you're gonna be.
Yep.
I'm gonna be in deep fucking mourning.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a year of the black band on your arm.
Good God. I don't know. Because, again, here we are. We have the neurosurgeon, the artificial heart maker, my literary life mate, and a smart man. And we have Timmy and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, we don't know what Timmy is going to grow up and accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy could be the one that cures cancer. Timmy could be the one that discovers the enzymes or whatever that causes Alzheimer's. So again, it's, do I take a chance on Timmy just making something out of his life, and I run over my literary?
Well, see, that's what makes it more difficult, is when you add in the prospects, you add in details to it where it's okay, little Timmy could do all those things, or little Timmy
end up a crack whore like his other mom.
I was just going to say that exactly. And then we've just killed off, we'll add to the fact that the neuroscientist is, like I said, working on the cure for brain cancer, is only 22 years old, so still has lots of life to live on top of that, and is currently proving that their life has value to it, so to speak. To add to
evil.
This is what my ethics teacher did to us. Dana's like, I just, damn it, I hate this.
So, if I go on the premise of super smart young people making headway in medical sciences and book writing, or the non-crack horror mom and Timmy.
Well, we'll add the detail that the non-crack horror mom is a lung specialist. And she's doing the best. Like, she's going to put Timmy through the best school she possibly can.
I'm going to hit Timmy and his mom.
The way that you just phrased it. I'm going to hit Timmy and his mom.
I don't mean to sound so callous.
Poor little
no,
Timmy.
I think in the retrospect of the what ifs or ours. So Timmy is a what if.
Yes.
But Stephen Hawking, Stephen King, and those two brilliant doctors are definites.
Yes.
So I'm going to take my chances and knock off the what if, because I already know the definites are definites.
That's how I feel about it too. When it comes down to something like
Timmy.
that, I was gonna say, we helped killed your mom, and then your other one came back, and she's like, "It's okay, I've got Timmy." And then we're like,
I can see it now. I can see it now. By Monday, we're gonna have somebody in the DMs. What do you got against Timmy?
yeah, I was gonna say, everyone out there who's named Timmy, we're sorry. It's just the name that came to mind. Which actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, little mild sidetrack. You remember when we had the mice in the house, and the one was the one that ended up in the dryer, and we didn't know? We named it Timothy. Which it gets better. That is the name. We didn't think about it at the time. We just had too many of them, but we were naming each one of them. And my mom was telling her one client that, oh yeah, this one is named whatever, and this one's named whatever. And then she said, oh yeah, Timothy was the other one that we found. And he leaned up and he went, I don't like that name. What's wrong with you guys? And then it was like, oh yeah, your name's Timothy. So I now want my mom to tell her client that we basically have spent a portion of the episode
of deciding whether or not we're going to kill Timmy.
Does Timmy die? How does Timmy die? Do we kill Timmy's mom? Do we kill Timmy and his mom? Like, we're sorry to all the people named Timmy. We do love you guys. It's
just a blanket apology to the Timmys and Timothys of the world. We're sorry.
It's just the name that came up.
We're Canadians. Don't take it personally.
Oh, you know what? That's probably why Timmy is actually such a common name now that I'm thinking about it, because of Tim Hortons. That light bulb moment. What happened to Timmy? Why'd you name him Timmy? Is that the name of your grandfather?
No, I was at Tim Hortons when I went into labor.
I was like, you know, it'd be a really good name, Timmy. Go grab me a Timmy's, Timmy. Go grab me your namesake.
It's interesting. It is. It's interesting. To go back to the OJ thing. Over the course of the episode. So, if anybody doesn't know, OJ was actually acquitted. He was never charged with the murder of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. He was acquitted because, my God, the man had Robert Kardashian, Johnny Cochran. His legal team was the best of the best of the best. Alan Dershowitz. So Marcia Clark didn't stand a chance.
Oh, God, no. Did
not stand a chance. A lot of people were like, it's because the jury was colored people. It wasn't. There was one female was a person of color on a jury. The rest were white.
Really? I would have thought the jury would have been a better makeup than that.
I
guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I think what brought down the prosecution was if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Yes.
Mark Furman was one of the police detectives that should never have been there. It wasn't his jurisdiction. It wasn't his territory. He should never have been there. And he was accused of planting evidence and perjury. And yeah, he was accused successfully of perjury. When it comes down to it, OJ got away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because people didn't know he did it. It was how the investigation went to get the evidence to prove he did it. When OJ's friend testified against him, it was very interesting because he testified that he had seen instances of spousal abuse on Nicole.
Yep.
After OJ was acquitted, so the U.S. has what they call double jeopardy law. So you cannot be tried twice for the same crime. But the Goldman family and the Brown family filed a civil suit against OJ, which he lost, and was told he had to pay them, I think, $33 million in punitive damages. He never paid a cent.
Really?
Do you know why OJ went to prison? And he did. He went to prison. Do you know why OJ went to prison?
I vaguely remember something about this, but I don't remember what it was. Like, I think it was the failure to pay or something like that.
Nope. OJ went to prison because he was in Las Vegas and he was high on coke and drinking, and he decided to rob some sports memorabilia collectors that were in the same hotel as him that were at a show. He was trying to steal back the stuff that had his signature on it because he thought that was his, regardless of how those people got it or who they bought it from. He was claiming ownership. He got busted. He got caught. And that's why he went to prison. He went to prison basically for robbery.
So literally gets away with murder just on...
But can't rob a hotel room and save his life.
Nope. Which, I mean, is good because at least he did some time to pay for some form of the murder he committed.
And there were people that were like, poetic justice, right? Because he got... I think... So OJ died last year, which, believe it or not, I had no idea until after I watched the documentary.
See, that's how I am with almost everyone who dies. I'm like, oh, they're dead?
It's like the last 5 minutes, and it's like, OJ died in 2024 at the age of like 70. I'm like, OJ died? But he died of cancer. And again, there were people out there saying nothing less than he deserved because of what he got away with previously. He wrote a book.
Yep.
And it was called If I Killed Her.
Yep.
And the fun part about this, and this is what I love, the fun part about it is because he never paid the Goldman family any money, any retribution for the civil suit that he lost, they got the rights to that book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So go ahead, friends, and look up that book on whatever book buying source you shop on. And you're going
what
to
was it called? If I
Killed Her by O.J. Simpson. And you're going to notice that the if is really, really, really small.
I now need to Google that.
And that's because when and it's a second edition. First edition, the if is normal size. Second edition, the if is like microscopic practically. And that's because when the Goldmans got control of the book, they changed the cover to minimize the if. So it literally just says, I killed her by O.J. Simpson. Brilliant. Brilliant. Interesting. When he did get acquitted and he went back to his life, I mean,
it's If I Did It. That's the
if
name
I
of
did
it.
it. That's right.
And the if, you're right, like the
it's
if,
super tiny.
it's hidden inside of the I of the I did it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Smart on the Goldman's family, right? But in the documentary, they interviewed OJ's manager.
Okay, yep.
This gentleman, his children called OJ Uncle OJ. He was considered part of their family. After OJ was acquitted, and he moved to Miami, he moved to Florida, and he was talking to the two of them were having a conversation. And his manager said this was when it was that conversation that he knew his friendship with OJ was over and he could not represent him anymore. In the casual conversation, they were talking about Nicole's murder, and OJ said she should have never opened the door.
And right then and there, right fucking then and there,
he admitted guilt, but because of the double jeopardy law, he could not be tried for her death again.
Which, I mean, the law makes sense because obviously for those who are innocent and are proven innocent, it's good because then they can't have people coming after them saying, hey, we still think you did it. And going, no. But for those of them who are actually guilty, I don't know who you are, go away. In his case, it's one of those times of, boy, do I wish that they could have gone back and been like, hey, you know those conversations you had? Yeah, we found them. We found all the evidence that we really need. Your book really did it in for you.
Yeah, because like I never read his book. At the time that it came out, I wasn't going to purchase anything that supported him. But now that I know the money is going to the Goldmans, I actually may buy it now.
Yes.
In his book, he literally described the murder perfectly. And for somebody who was out of town and was not guilty in his pea brain, he described the murder perfectly.
Yeah. That right there is like, really?
So, for me, I highly recommend anybody that out there that would watch something like that, just watch it. It's only 4 episodes. Yeah, they're an hour long, but I'm telling you, it's going to turn the cogs in your brain because you're going to be going, what the fuck? How did this guy get off? Right? And it's
Yes.
just the case built against him and built for him. It's just it's
See,
really
and
good.
I'm just going to add the little tidbit of this is why I would support a friend like Dexter going around and taking out guys like him.
Yeah.
Where they go around and go, oh, yeah, I have money. I had a great legal team. I ran a country. My goodness, it was right there. It was just, oh my
it
God.
was the voice. Ran a country. I've not been found guilty of any crimes.
And yet he
Except
has.
in New York.
37 counts and more to come. But it's the people that are like that where you're just like, okay, the justice system fails in so many regards, and you can see why people want to get vengeance. And there's a couple things like I would like to do episodes on it in the future, because I'm sure again we can go long into it. About different situations. Like, I don't know if you remember, you know what, I was going to say a few years back, but it's probably more than a few years back at this rate, because I now realize things can be counted in decades in my lifetime. I'm like, oh. But there was a father, I want to say out in Alberta or British Columbia, somewhere over there. I mean, he's not the only one.
The one that did the mercy killing on his handicapped daughter?
She was going to be one of the ones that I talked about. I was like, I would love to talk about that story. But there was also one who went and murdered his daughter's rapist. And then he got sentenced to jail time.
Ooh.
Which, again, I think could be a very good episode.
And you know what else we can touch on? Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka.
Yes.
Because
I shouldn't be that excited for that.
That is a clear case of the Canadian justice system of fucking up big time.
Yep.
And for our American viewers out there that don't know, Paul Bernardo is one of Ontario's greatest serial killers. He kidnapped, held hostage, raped, and videotaped teenage girls, including his sister-in-law. And his wife helped him. And this is where I say the Canadian justice system failed, is because they when they were eventually found out and found guilty, there's so much evidence against them. She was in a women's prison, and for whatever reason, they let her plea. If she testified against him, she would get a shortened sentence. I think she served less than 10 years.
Yeah.
And is currently living her best life in Quebec under an assumed name. Witness Protection Program. We don't call it that in Canada. I don't know what they call it, but yeah. They changed her name, and she got out because she testified against her husband. The thing was, who the fuck do you think was holding the video camera? Who fed her sister the alcohol that got her so fucking blitzed that she didn't know where she was, and then watched her husband rape her? Who partook in the rape? It was her. Does she deserve to walk free just because she said, yeah, he did it? No. So yeah, I would love to do a show on that.
Yes, I agree. And I can guarantee, because I know besides Pedro Pascal Love, the episode that we did on him, The second most watched episode we have, at least on my end, on YouTube, is Murder in the House, where all of you came flooding in, because I think Pedro has like between 40 and 60 views, and Murder in the House is right up there as well, like 39. Like, okay. So I think I would love to do some more on some murders. Like, we're still going to keep it general. Like, we're not going to be murder only. But there's definitely some that I would love to talk about. And Carla Homolka is definitely one of them, because I still remember my grade 10 history teacher talking about her at the time, because my friend had brought in an ice cap and she's like, oh, I can't have those things anymore. And we were like, why not? She's like, have you guys ever seen the dead eyes in Carla Homolka while she drinks one of those? We were like, what?
And I think for me, the Paul Bernardo Carla Homolka fiasco pisses me off so much is because it literally happened 3.5 hours away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it.
Excuse me.
St. Catharines, Mississauga area, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, like just on the outskirts of Toronto. It's
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling, because like you could have jumped in a fucking car and driven to Windsor and snatched a girl off the street at any given time. So it was terrifying and scary at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
angry now.
And then we get to fucking fuming when Carla gets released from prison.
Yep.
So yeah, and I think that would be a great one. Like even more better than Robert Picton, the pig farmer.
Yeah, which I mean that was the one that you guys were all like, oh yeah, we did. I think 3 or 4 different serial killers in Canada, or we did serial killers in general. 2 of them were from Canada. So I think we'll definitely do some more of those, because it's definitely something that piques both of our interests, and obviously the audience as well. So I think this is a good place to end the episode, and we definitely want, like, anyone who's listening, wherever you're listening on, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, any of the places that you're listening, leave comments. Tell us what you think about, like, the ethical questions. What would you do in those situations? Do your answers change based on the different variables, or are you just steadfast, like, this is what it is, and why? Why are those your answers?
Yeah. How do the dynamics of the situation play into your conclusions?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear it. And if we get enough responses, we may do a mini TikTok talking about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so have a good day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
See you next week, hopefully.
Absolutely.